So Niranjan, I also saw that once you got the 1900s rating, you climbed up to the 2200s level like pretty quickly in the next couple of years. So how was this journey? Because this patch of 1900 to 2200 is considered as a tough patch.
It just came on its own because I was not really focusing on reading. I was not even sure what is K factor. You see, and then recently when I was thinking about Grandmaster norms, fortunately it showed up in my feed and I thought I should bring this approach back to my life because improvement should happen and that improvement process should be enjoyable.
Hmm.
Because there is more to life than just chess moves. You should experience that holistically.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today we have Fide Master Niranjan Navalgund, who has been a very strong player, who has been a coach, who has worked with chess.com. He has three international master norms and one grandmaster norm. So, first of all, Niranjan, welcome to the Heramb Chess Show.
Namaste, Heramb. Namaste to all the followers seeking blessings of the goddess. Before we begin, all right.
Okay. So, Niranjan, the first thing I want to ask you is how did you get started with your chess journey?
So I have answered this question in a few interviews, and the one thought that I keep revisiting is how lucky I got while I was the leader of the class. So I was the class monitor, and I opened the note that was given to me by my peon and the school peon, and then once I read it. It read something like this, that there is a chess tournament happening in the city. It's a district event and the entry fee is 30 rupees, and those who are interested can contact the following numbers. And this was way back in 2003,
Okay.
and nobody raised their hands, and my class teacher saw that, and it was time for the prayer also, but he just inserted one line there saying that nobody's interested, you go. Then I said, sir, I have no idea what the game is about. I have never played it, I don't know the rules. Then he said that the circular is saying that it's starting from Friday, so you still have some time, so better go and see whether you can learn it. Then on that day I went home and I saw that my dad had not come home yet, and I asked my mother that, okay, there's this tournament, do you think I should go? And at that point of time I was involved in so many activities. I was a philatelist, I was into drawing, I was learning tabla, I was going to swimming, and I was actually pretty good at drawing, and also I was writing poems.
Mhm.
So in that kind of situation, to go for a tournament would mean that I would probably miss my tabla class and things like that. Then she said, there is a chess set we have, and it was actually a birthday gift,
Mm.
and we had not opened it, we had not used it, and it was given to me by my best friend's dad.
Mm.
And she said, let Papa come from home, come from office, and I'll ask him. Then he came, and there is a photograph in our family in which my dad, when he was around 25, 26, he was playing chess with a cousin. That photo is still there. So uh, that reminded me that, okay, maybe, yeah, really, probably he knows the game. Until then, we never had a conversation about chess. And on that day, when he came in the evening, the first question I asked is, do you know how to play chess? Can you teach me? And then he said, yes, yes, I know. And that is when, that particular evening, I got to know the rules. He taught me. And once he taught me, I felt, okay. The best part about that chessboard was that it was magnetic. So
Mm.
that also really impressed me a bit about the game, that it was magnetic. And the possibility that animals could exist in this game. And I felt, okay, let's try. And I actually went to the tournament hall and I saw that my name was written. I went to the board and I saw that everybody had an opponent and I did not. And to which my mother went to the umpire, like she thought it's an umpire. We did not know the term also. And she
Yeah.
said, okay, everybody has a player. What about Niranjan? Why nobody is there? And that is when we realized there is this concept called walkover. Some school cast boy, he did not participate. He had given the name. So I got a free point. In that
Mhm.
tournament, I played 6 games and I won 2 games. So 2 plus 1. I scored 3 points and I lost 3 games. And the something happened in the last round, which pushed me to play more. Like I was not happy with the way my last round turned out. Like the rook was on h8, my opponent asked me to adjust it, and I just tucked it slightly towards the board because it was on the edge. And I did that. But then he said touch and move. And that was the moment where a mate was threatened and I had to castle. And the arbiter came and said that, okay, what is the issue? He asked him and he asked me. And he was very neat in saying that I did not say adjust. But I said that, okay, I did not say adjust, I agree. But he was the one who asked me to touch it. And then I was actually going to play castles, and but he is the one who asked me to touch it. But the arbiter said rule says that you have to, if you want to castle, you have to touch your king
Clear
first,
just.
and then
Okay.
so basically after that move, after I moved my rook, I lost the game.
Mm.
So to me, I don't know if this comes under let's say fair play or not. But what happened to me on that day was after I came outside the tournament hall. Only then did I realize that this is the last round and it's over. And I felt that I cannot end on a loss. Then I told my mother that I cannot just quit here. I want another game, but there is no another game. And
Mm.
I also remember that I had asked somebody to play a game with me, but they had denied. So
Oh.
that feeling was there, that thirst for another game was there. That is what pushed my parents also to look around as to where the tournaments are. That was the way in which my career began.
So it's like the starting is just like a Bollywood movie, nothing
Yes,
else
yes,
than that. That a tune gives you a note and you open the note, and
yes.
after that, like, slowly you go to the first tournament. So like
True.
very, very, I would say dramatic beginning. So at that time, Niranjan, how old were you? How old were you when you
I was
started?
10.
You're 10 years old.
Yes.
Okay. So you
So I played my
started.
first tournament in December, November of 93. Sorry, 2003.
Okay.
And then you can say I officially began playing open events in 2004. So
Wow.
2003, that incident happened in the winter of 2003. I'm 94 born. So I was
Okay.
nine-ish, and then next month onwards, I went to Dharwad. Then that is how I started playing.
Got it. So you started pretty late. Like nowadays, people they start very, very early. Even I started when I was like 4 years old. I started for fun. I started going to a local club, and that is what I started. So I see this with you. There was one more grandmaster from Singapore, Ting Jingyao. So
Hmm.
I also interviewed him. So he also started very late. He started at the age of 9, and he
Okay.
became 2600s in like 10 years, which is very
Oh,
crazy. So it was great. So this is one question which now comes to my mind, Niranjan, is many people they complain that okay, we have not started early, we have started a little bit late, and nowadays we hear like chess is a game for youngsters more than for adults. So how do you motivate yourself, or at that time, how did you motivate yourself to keep going and starting from a beginner player going all the way to becoming a FIDE master?
yeah, it's a great question. The thing that comes to my mind is that even in our Vedas and Upanishads, it's clear that there is not one way to improve in life. There are so many different ways, and knowledge can come from all the sides. So now this knowledge that chess is getting younger, we cannot deny that. But we must also see as an individual whether this knowledge is helpful to us or not. That's the first question we must ask.
Mm.
Because there are many instances in this world in which, if you take, let's say, examples of spiritual saints,
Mhm.
where they do remarkable things at different kinds of ages. Like if you take, for example, Dhaneshwar Maharaj, at such an young age, you see the kind of things he was capable of. At the same time, on the other end of the spectrum, there are people who live for thousands of years. Like we can say that there are so many people who learn some methods in which they can improve. If it's about living for more, they take care of the health and do certain things. So there are answers to all kinds of questions. So when it comes to whether you can keep up with your level at this age, now I think this question itself has to be answered from various lens. For me personally, I do not limit myself to thinking that I am getting older and that I may not be able to play well. My belief is that, let's say I have not touched the board for a really long time, but
Mhm.
if I prepare my mind the previous night that, okay, I am facing a world champion and I must do my best, I have a feeling that we can actually do it. And you cannot deny that that's a possibility. And like they say in this movies, Baby, the Akshay Kumar, that guy says he will go on even 0.1%, like he will take a chance
Yeah.
even then. For me, the possibility. that something like this could happen is there. So that means when it comes to that game where I am playing one move at a time with my opponent, these thoughts will just diminish. They will go to certain, let's say, depth where I will not be focusing on that, but I'll be focusing on task at hand.
Mm,
So, if joining the dots based on what I am saying, I feel that age can be a factor if you let it become a factor.
mm,
Um, like I do believe that no matter who your opponent is, you can defeat them, and that is the motto that I have been following throughout. Like if you take a look at my rating, it will completely give you a different picture. Like somebody who will be very happy to see, okay, it's that for some 2100 guy, but then when that real game comes, you can see that there is a change.
mm.
Numbers do not really give you the complete story. So
Yeah,
I don't believe in no, rating. I don't believe in. I think that the way I just mentioned about wins, I can also say that about loss. I feel anybody can lose to anybody. It can happen.
yeah.
But in that moment, are you there? That's the question. If I am giving myself the 100% focus on that particular day, if I am getting ready as if this is the last game of my life, I think the potential, the possibilities are immense. So that is how I would see it. But there are these conversations about chess being younger. I will say yes, for news and for market, yes, we need to have these stories. We need to chase records. But for me, these stories do not really hold merit because my journey is not coherent with these ongoing stories. So I will choose whatever works for me.
Very well said, I must say. So this was very motivating because many people, they once they start aging, they simply give up, right? They simply feel like no, chess is nowadays for younger kids, and we don't fit in there. So they simply give up. They simply don't believe that they can improve. And that is what I have seen. Like this is something when you are like say 30, 35 plus, you don't believe I can improve. And I'm not saying like by improve, I'm not saying like you will become a grandmaster. I'm just saying like the improvement part. So let's say if you are a 1400s player in let's say 1400s federated player, you improving to 1600 is also the improvement. So
Yes.
that's what is the part, but they don't believe in themselves that now at this age I can improve, and that is the internal barrier which even I feel can stop them.
I think
Great.
first the change comes for the life. Like chess is like
Mm-hmm.
they say the miniature form of life. But
Mm-hmm.
if that change first comes internally, or sometimes it can happen due to a guru's grace or God's grace, some changes like just visiting a particular place can have that internal change in you. And once that change happens, and then you try maybe it changes. But
Mm-hmm.
also in this, if you feel that you are doing stuff like you want to improve, if there is a lot of let's say ego involved even in the process,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, it is difficult.
Yeah.
And it's in tune with what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is very relatable because sometimes what happens is you get some insight in life. You sometimes something clicks. It's not related to chess at all. It's something completely different in some other field. And
Yes.
then you suddenly play a tournament and you play phenomenal. You say like I'm not practicing that much. I'm not doing anything. So what exactly changed? It's because like in your life you have been achieving good things. So I think that is what matters. Great. So Niranjan, now the next part is like you told us how you began. You started off in a very dramatic Bollywood movie way. So how did it go after that? So in 2007 you got your rating. That is what I understand. So how did you get the rating?
2005.
2005 you got the rating.
Yeah,
Okay.
2005 April I got I think 2005 April I got my rating. It was through a
Okay.
tournament I played in Thane. It was road chess tournament
Okay.
organized by Rotary. And so once that rating happened, I did not know what is the K factor. I just knew that my rating
Oh,
had come. It was 1907.
yeah.
And I just wanted to play. So I played a lot of tournaments. I played rating events.
Mm-hmm.
But then some kind of orientation happened when I met International Master Raja Ravi Shekhar.
Mm-hmm.
So I took some lessons from him. Initially, coaches here like PK Kulkarni, Hal Sagar Chincholimat, Sagar Vernekar, such people, they actually gave me the structure and basics. But then after going to Bangalore, I was able to understand that there are things like titles. There is something called as state championship, national championship, and then Asian and world. So he opened those doors for me, like by acquainting me with different stages. So for me, after that tournament, while I was going back, I still remember how I felt after that incomplete feeling. And I told myself, if I play this event again, I would win. And fortunately for me, it happened. The next year, I played the same event and I won that event.
Wow.
So it's a nice, like you said, very cinematic thing. After that, for me, the big transition came when I had to make a decision, and this was thanks to my mentor, Hundre sir. He's not there anymore, but he's there with us in spirit. So I had become a state under 15 champion, had won under 17. I had won, I was also a medalist in the state categories under 19, state championship. But then there came a point where my mentor said, because I was also teaching at that time, but I was teaching without charging. And he said, you
Oh.
either start charging or you go to a place in which chess is supported. And this thought was there in my mind. Then I asked him the intricacies involved. Why is he saying so? Then he said that I cannot depend on my parents anymore because they had already like huge financial difficulties.
Yeah.
There were loans, and then he said a sponsor can also help to a certain degree.
Mm.
So in Belgaum, chess was nowhere to be seen at that time. This was in 2009-10.
Mm-hmm.
And that is when I was playing this Chennai Open in Chennai, and I saw a lot of people coming there to tournament in uniforms. That is when I met Mr. Raj Mohan. He introduced me to Vel Mohan sir. Then my parents went and met the correspondent of Velamal. That was a big change in my life where I went to Chennai. I started representing Tamil Nadu. And then as soon as I
Mm.
went there, I became a national under 17 champion in 2011.
Wow.
That gave me the ONGC scholarship, the SAI scholarship. And so that is how, things started becoming big.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, this is nice. This is really good. So basically you changed your city, I think your state also, right? To go and become a
Yeah, I
professional
changed
chess
the
player.
state. I represented Tamil Nadu until 2017.
Okay, so one lesson I think like all the viewers can take up here is you have to do whatever it takes. Okay,
Yeah.
many people say many things. They say that, okay, I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that, but they don't actually want it. So that's the question you have to ask yourself. Are you willing to do whatever it takes? Like Niranjan did. He changed the city, he changed the state to become a professional chess player. Are you willing to do that? And maybe you don't need to. I'm saying like whatever you have to do, you have to do it. So I think that's a very good lesson for all the viewers. So Naranjan, I also saw that once you got the 1900s rating, you climbed up to the 2200s level like pretty quickly in the next couple of years. So how was this journey? Because this patch of 1900 to 2200 is considered as a tough patch. It is where, people, it's not very easy to climb. It's not very easy to go upwards. So can you share a little bit on about your story?
Okay. So there is a concept that I got acquainted to recently.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Spain,
Mm-hmm.
and I was reading something that came up on my feed. And after reading it, I felt that this is something that I did long back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's called the law of reversed effort.
Okay.
So what it basically means is that, let's say if you want something, you just let it go. Don't go after it, but build yourself in such a way that it comes to you on its own whenever it wants it, but your thought should not be connected with getting it.
Mm-hmm.
This is completely opposite in a way of what people call manifestation. This is
Yeah.
like just letting it go, and because you're letting it go, it comes to you at an opportunistic moment or a right moment.
Okay.
So when you're talking about this range, 1900 to 2100, for the sake of convenience, we are using the rating. I
Correct.
would generally not use rating because um ratings can be good to a certain degree, but we cannot evaluate a move based on a rating so accurately. So it's more like a rough guess. But what I did during that period, was that I got acquainted myself with Dvoretsky's books, Yusup's
Mm.
books, and I was doing a lot of solving from this book called 1001 Winning Chess Combinations by Fred Reinfeldt. And the method that nowadays has become popular called Woodpecker's method,
Yeah.
I was doing it without knowing. I was because I did not have access to many chess books. I had three or four. And then after that, I got Xerox of some books, the Dvoretsky's ones. And so I would, after finishing it, I would keep doing it. And so one advantage I did have though, I think over others, was that my mother enrolled me into a computer class when I was 5 years old. And because of that, I knew what is chess base. I knew how to use Frids long. Like I think if you
Very well.
compare with all the current national champions at that time, I was actually well versed with all this because computer basics I knew and I was well versed. And Polyhedron had donated a computer to me at that time. So Polyhedron is a company in Belgaum.
Yeah.
So I was doing a lot of tactics. Then I had also purchased one CBM at that time. So I was doing those. So basically, I was just doing it because I like doing it without having any goal in mind.
Mm.
And I felt that this rating, it just came on its own because I was not really focusing on rating. I was not even sure what is K factor. You see, and then recently, when I was thinking about Grandmaster norms, fortunately it showed up in my feed, and I thought I should bring this approach back to my life because improvement should happen, and that improvement process should be enjoyable.
Mm.
Because there is more to life than just chess moves. You should experience that holistically. So, so I think I did three things right. I studied a bit of Dvoretsky, like books, his series of School of Chess Excellence series. And then I did this 1001 winning combinations by Fred Reinfeldt. And then at one point, I also got Imagination in Chess.
Mm.
So these books I was doing again and again. That helped me. So basically, at this level, if you are good with tactics, you can score a lot of points. But I would also do a special mention to this book by Gary Lane called Modern Chess Openings: Ideas Behind Modern Chess Openings. So nowadays, this approach is called a schematic approach, like where they have this system like London or Torre. No matter what opponent does, you just play London. So there was this book I had got it from Sangli, and that book actually also helped me take care of my openings because I was playing only London. And with Black, I was having somehow managing whatever opponent was doing. Somehow I was managing. I was playing Khan, and I was relying primarily on tactics. So I would say from 1900 to 2100, if you had to sum up it in one word, if I had to sum up it in one word, then it would be tactics.
Okay. Okay. Very well said. There is like one concept which I was also leading. It is reading. It is something similar to this. Is don't push yourself towards things. Get pulled.
Ah, yes.
Okay, I think it
Well,
is exactly what you are saying is many people they try to push that I'm at a certain rating, I want to achieve this no matter what. And they try to push, 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 and they are always trying to find the bridge. Right? They feel there is some magical bridge. This is something I tell to my students is they feel there is some magical bridge and they keep on trying different things to find that bridge. Sometimes they will change books, sometimes they will change coaches, sometimes they will do something else. But the reality is the bridge never exists,
yes.
right? There is only a
So,
brick. So you build it brick by brick, and then when you improve, you don't even know that, oh, I came so far. I don't even know that I came so much ahead.
yes,
So
yes.
yeah, that is a very, very good point. I think the audience has learned a lot from that. And yeah, like if somebody is stuck at this level 1900s, like as Niranjan mentioned, you have to work on your tactics. That is what is going to take you to the next level.
Yes.
So Niranjan, now that you are also launching a new course, can you just tell us a little bit about your new course on Chessable?
Yes. So this course is titled "How to Beat a Grandmaster." Uh,
Wow.
so the title itself is very clear cut.
Mm-hmm.
Then you may have the next question as to who is this course for.
Mm-hmm.
This course is for all those who want to play norm tournaments and get some norms because it will introduce you to the kind of work ethic, and the intricacies involved in preparing for a round robin norm event or some event in which you're playing a grandmaster. It is
Mm-hmm.
also for those who have the goals, like you said, to improve the rating from 2000 to 2200 or 2400, because it will introduce you to the factors that you must pay attention to when you're playing a grandmaster.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's also for those who are between the range of 1600 to 2000, because you will know how to work on certain things, be it your openings, be it uh, your way of solving tactics. And then I would also say this is also for those who are just there into chess, also for parents to understand what it takes, to be in a situation where you are beating a grandmaster. So, and I would also go as far saying that this is also for those who do not know anything about chess, because
Oh,
even if you are, let's say, in some other sport, I have covered some mental game aspects in the course, which will be useful for anybody who is a sports lover and also is probably a professional in some other sport. So that is how I have designed the course. In my life personally, if there is at least one line that somebody has said to me, or if I watch some line in the podcast or a video or in a book, for me the time spent in getting that word or a line is worth. So I feel
exactly.
you will have many such instances in this course where you feel like, okay, um, this is not only just about beating a grandmaster, but maybe about life in general as well.
Yeah, yeah, very well said. And yeah, I would say to all the viewers here is please go and check out Niranjan's course, because Niranjan has come to my platform. I see that he's an amazing teacher. He gives a lot of value to his students. So please do check out his course. And we have one more surprise for all of you. I would tell you that at the end of this interview. But
Yes.
before that, Niranjan, any game that you would like to show us where
Yes.
somebody beats a grandmaster and something that the viewers can learn from.
Yes. So I'll first take you through what exactly is there in the course, like an overview.
Sure, 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 sure.
Um, I have made it actually, there is a flavor of cinema in the course because I am a huge fan of movies. I
Oh,
felt I should design this in a way that the entire journey feels as if you watched a film. So
mm,
let us say your enemy is a grandmaster. In order to beat him, the first thing that you need is you need to know about that person, right? You need to know about the grandmaster. So I start with what makes a grandmaster a grandmaster. So I list out certain qualities of the grandmaster. After that, we go on to their weaknesses, because just knowing strengths is not enough. We must also know where they are more likely to go wrong. So I
mm,
cover that aspect. And after this is done, you are still not ready, because you also have to know what mistakes you yourself must avoid when you're facing them. So that part is covered. Then we go to the process where you're getting ready. It's like the interval stage where you're getting ready for the match against the grandmaster. And then I explored the mental aspects of the game. I also talk about the aspects involving a loss, because I've had experiences of losing 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row in a classical tournament. And by the way, all the games that I have covered are from classical over the board tournaments.
mm.
So once that aspect is done, I then go on to show how I defeated a grandmaster for the first time in my life. Once that is done, we go to the end portion, like the climax portion, where I talk about all the tools and methods that I have used and sometimes created as a coach so that it can be easy for people to learn. And then there comes a point where there is an angle of Krishna that I have introduced in the course as to what we could learn from the philosophy of Lord Krishna in this subject. So that's also a special that deserves a special mention. And then in the end, I end the course like they say in movies. They have post credits, right? There's a very important message that I give at the very end after the course is over. So this is how the course is designed. And one of the concepts that I have talked about is called the Shadripu effect. So in our philosophy, in our
Can
culture,
you
we
come
have
again? The name?
Shadripu.
Shadripu. Okay.
So it's Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya.
Okay.
So now in the chess literature, Jonathan Rowson has written a very good book called The Seven Deadly Chess Sins.
Hmm.
Um, if you compare it, I think I mean, he wrote it very recently, but the concept that I'm talking about is of many thousand years old. So I use the lens of Shadripu to understand what kind of mistakes grandmasters make.
Mm-hmm.
And so this effect is such that sometimes the situation during the game can alter the way they play. Sometimes it could be anger, and sometimes it could be the greed for material. Sometimes you go after a pawn and then you end up losing. Sometimes you are underestimating your opponent, which is a
Yeah.
mistake that I have myself done countless times. So I have given some examples in which the Shadripu factor comes into picture. And for Matsarya, which is envy or jealousy, I have given a chess lens where we are paying a lot of respect to our opponent. So we are afraid of losing. So for that particular aspect, I've used fear of losing as a theme in the
Mm.
Shadripu word. Now, I'll show you a game in which former world champion Anatoly Karpov was playing as black. So let me share the screen.
Sure, I'll just let you share the screen. Yeah.
So this is a game, Oleg Dementiev versus Karpov Anatoly. And so I will first introduce you to a concept which I have also talked about in the course. There are many such concepts that I've talked about in the course. The first
Mm-hmm.
concept that I have mentioned there is called IDCC, where as soon as an opponent makes a move, you start understanding what their idea is. I stands for idea, D stands for drawback, C stands for candidates, and the other C stands for choice. So starting with the game, white played e4, black played knight f6. Now to see that Alekhine has played, that Karpov has played Alekhine defense is itself a surprise. Now, you may see this happening every now and then, that sometimes the grandmasters, they may play a move which is slightly off topic. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
offbeat. Um, so the first thing that can happen is that the player could start feeling anxious about the opening choice because there is this lack of understanding, or there is this the world of unknown. So
Mm.
when this comes, what happens is your emotions take over, which will prevent you from playing the move that you actually ought to make. So I talk about such things there. Here, it's a classic example of how you should approach the game. Oleg played this game as if it was just any other game. In fact,
Mm.
I also mentioned in the beginning of the course that while you are entering my course, like how you go to a temple, you keep your footwear outside, right? Similarly, please take off your perfectionist mindset and then come to the course. That is what I urge, readers,
Yeah.
watchers, whoever is
Mm.
watching. I ask them to leave this fascination, obsession with the perfectionist mindset, and then come and join the course. So e4 knight f6 will go to the critical position. He is actually making all natural moves. It's
Mm-hmm.
a normal position, and then we get the central break. In this position, it is okay to play bishop e3 here. This is normal, but he went for c5. He saw that the drawback of d5 is that he gets to play c5. And in this
Mm-hmm.
position, if Karpov was probably, let's say, playing against Kasparov, or let's say any strong opponent, I have a feeling he would definitely play this move. And then, of course, knight d5 cannot be taken because there is knight c5. But after knight d7, it's not that white is better. Black is actually doing really well here. But he went knight c8. And in this position, sometimes what happens is there's a tendency for people to overthink, that they make a move, opponent has made a move which they are not expecting. But again, in the course, I also talk about time management and how important it is to
Mm.
keep pace with the opponent. So
Yeah.
after knight c8, let's say, what is the idea? The idea, I think, in this position is probably e5 break or b6
Mm.
break in the future. What is the drawback? If you see IDCC, the drawback is that this knight is not playing anywhere now. And only a pawn break can actually improve his chances of this knight. So if you go by the opening principles, you need to complete your development. So the next move is very easy to find, and that is bishop f4.
Yeah.
So now you're following the IDCC is coming into picture. Black played Black played b6, and then again, if you use the IDCC formula here, the drawback of this move, Hiram, what do you think? What is the literal drawback of this move?
C6 knight is unprotected. Bishop b5 can be played.
Yes, and you are actually playing like Dementive now, because that is correct. So he played bishop b5,
Yeah.
and I mean, this is based on the process that I am using now. These these ideas or concepts that I'm sharing, they have to be used like the two extra wheels of the bicycle, because I hope that there comes a point in your life where you no longer need all these tools, where everything comes natural to you. But
Mm.
until then, until you're able to balance cycle on your own, let those two extra wheels support you.
Yeah.
So bishop b5 happened, queen d7. And again, we use the same approach. The idea is that he's supporting the knight, but what is the drawback of queen d7? It is under a pin.
It's a yeah.
So we have this information, and this information is in itself enough for us to find candidate moves. We know that this pin is something that can be really lethal. So how do we put more pressure? We bring something so that we bring a piece so that we put more pressure. So the natural move is
I have two, like I'm thinking knight e5 is there, bishop e5 is there.
95 is
I'm
there, yes.
considering rook e1 and queen e2 also.
Ah, okay. Yes, 95 is a good candidate here. You will actually win the bishop pair. But there is actually a better move here. The better move is just to play rook c1,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
because you want to put more pressure. And I think one way to interpret this position is that since black's pieces are compressed, avoiding exchanges can help us, because your opponent would be willing to exchange because of the pressure. So this rook c1 I really liked.
Hmm.
And after a6, there's actually the idea is to just take on c6, because in chess it's not about which piece you exchange, but what you're left with after that exchange is done. So the exchange on c6 is actually beneficial to white. So after bishop c6, queen c6, now there is this concept of Fischer where you are transforming the advantage. So he plays cb6. Queen b6 is not possible because d5 hangs. So knight b6. And then we again evaluate using the same thing. The idea of knight b6 is that he wants to connect the rooks. Knight actually has no, no scope here, but it's actually just coming out. Now the drawback of this knight on b6 is that it is supported lightly by the queen, and we can probably take advantage.
Uh,
And
yeah.
and then after queen b7, again, if you look at the position again, I don't think it's convenient for us to take on b6, because then it will only help the opponent. So we play knight c5, queen a7, and now you see, look at the pieces. Knight is good, rook is good, queen needs to come out, rook needs to come out. Knight is already doing good here. It can probably come to e5. So when you have options between different pieces, you should move that piece which you would anyway move, so that there is some priority. So here he plays rook e1. We
We
know
could
that,
also have played rook c7, I think. Rook c7, maybe queen b8, and
yes,
knight c5 can we can also play that.
here rook c7, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah, this is also strong. This is
yeah,
also good, knight c5.
yeah. Mm.
In the game, he played rook e1,
Okay.
and then black played bishop c8. So it's a very rare case in which you see Karpov playing this, and this was just before he became a world champion, 1970. And after bishop c8, again, one thing we must do is connect the rooks. So he goes queen d2. This is like connecting the rooks. There are ideas of bishop h6. Black played rook e8. And now there is this Among Us game I talk about in the course. We have to find the imposter. Imposter in the sense which piece is actually badly placed, and it is the queen. And so we play knight e5, because we want to play knight c6
Yeah.
and make things difficult for the queen.
Mm-hmm.
So bishop b7 happened. And now there is something suspicious about these two pieces. And that is that they have very less mobility. And if we bring more attacks, one of them will fall. So to push the question mark to this knight, the drawback is that these pieces are in a very awkward place. So we play a4 and then we play queen b4. So now a5 is threatened, bishop is hanging. So he went bishop takes e5, bishop takes e5, and then played bishop c8. And I think there came a point where he repeated once. He played knight d3, knight c5. Now again, there is this tendency again for players when they're playing against a grandmaster. If opponent is offering a reputation, there is this tendency to just accept draw. But here, the player playing white, Oleg, did not fall for this tendency. He was having his emotions under check and he played knight takes a6. Now, the point is if queen takes a6, there is rook c6. So, bishop takes a6 happened, rook c7, and then the knight was lost. If bishop b7, there is a5. So, anyway, it's lost. The piece is lost. And in this game, I also loved the way he ended the game. So, after rook b3, he played rook e7. And after bishop d3, maybe I will take a pause and invite you to find the best move for white. There are many winning moves, but the move played by Oleg against Karpov is what makes this game special. Okay, so Heramb, any guesses?
I'm thinking of queen a7.
Queen a7, okay.
Queen a7 is there. What else can we do?
Yes, you are very close to the correct answer. You want to establish contact with the queen.
Queen into d5, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this queen into d5 definitely deserves this double exclaim. And
Yeah,
Karpov resigned here.
yeah.
So viewing this game from the lens of Shedripu, we can say that in a way he was, there was some element of pride. So, and that is again coming to underestimation. He felt that he could outplay, but opponent gave no chance. And just with a simple check of IDCC, White was able to win. So this is a game which I have actually mentioned as a model game, but I have not talked about it. So this is the first time I'm actually talking about this game. This is also considered as one of the greatest chess upsets because Oleg defeated the then favorite of the world, Oleg Karpov.
Great.
So this was the
Great. Really nice game. I love there are many great parts. Like at one point he played knight c8, which was very passive, right? And then after
bishop
that
c8.
he slowly,
Yeah,
sorry.
knight c8. Yes, you're right. Knight c8
Yeah.
and then also and bishop c8.
Yeah, and he was playing passively, and then he got, like, we can say he got outplayed actually,
True.
because slowly his opponent started building the all the tension. Great, amazing game. I am very sure that our viewers also must have enjoyed this and loved this a lot. And now finally the time for one special thing which I told earlier is one lucky winner who answers this question in the best way is going to get Niranjan's course How to Beat a Grandmaster absolutely for free. So
Yes.
listen to this question and let me know in the comments how do you feel about this. We'll choose a lucky winner and he will get Niranjan's course absolutely for free. So the question is, tell me in the comment section that how do you think you should handle yourself after a bad loss? So sometimes it happens that you lose a game very badly and it feels like your opponent knew everything. He knew every single move that you played. It's like he just crushed you like anything. So at that moment, how should a player handle himself? Comment below, put it in the chat and tell me. Me and my team will choose a lucky winner and they'll get Niranjan's course, How to Beat a Grandmaster, absolutely for free.
Yes,
So,
I'm also looking forward to reading your comments in the YouTube section. So this is a move trainer that will be given to you. So you will get to, it will be more like a book that you're reading, like a manual. And this is also a good course if you're facing a grandmaster tomorrow. Let's say its pairing is out, you're playing a grandmaster tomorrow. Even for you, I think this can be a really good course, something that you can keep coming back to. It's not necessary that you have to get this only if you're facing a GM. I have tried to bridge the gap in the chess literature. There are many books on openings, middle games, and end games, strategy, positional play. But the books that talk about the heat of the moment, the practicality of playing a chess game, the efforts involved in going to a tournament hall, planning event, I have spoken about all these factors. I think it's also a good manual for parents. So I hope you enjoy, and I have actually used my own personal experience in this course. And I hope, Hiram, you, your subscribers, your students also learn a lot from it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as I said earlier, I would recommend everyone to go and check out Niranjan's course because I have seen Niranjan teach. He puts his heart into teaching and he is a very, very good trainer. So please check out his course and it will be available on Chessbase.
On
Uh,
Chessable.
yeah, on Chessable, right? It will be available on Chessable. So you can go out and check it. Okay.
So
So,
yes, thank you, Hiram. I would like to say a few things.
sure.
I know Hiram since the game that we played online, and he gave me a tough fight. I was not
Online,
able
I
to
think
win.
it was
Not online.
offline.
I mean, over the board, over the
Over the
board.
board, yeah.
So I was not able to beat him. It was a tough game, and the game ended in a draw. So that is when I saw him for the first time in Pune. And after that, I have seen that you also started your journey as a coach.
Yeah,
So it was interesting to see that. And I thank you, Hiram, for doing this, for giving me your time and also doing this together.
my pleasure.
Um, I know that you had asked me for a podcast at one point, and I was not able to make it at that time. I just felt I was not having anything to talk about, and now
Mhm.
I feel okay. I am ready. It's the right moment to also talk. Plus, the course is coming. So thank you for doing this here.
No, the pleasure is all mine, Niranjan. Thank you so much for coming on this podcast, and thank you for sharing your knowledge. I learn a lot from I today. I learned a lot from all the things that you said, and there are many things like it's not just about chess, but it's also more about life. Okay,
Yes.
so that's a very good insight, and I'm very very sure that all the viewers they they would enjoy your course, the course that you are releasing, How to Beat a Grandmaster. It would help a lot of students who are struggling, who are not able to beat title players. So,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Great. Thank you so much, Niranjan.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for coming.